Welcome. I'm Debbie Pokornik, and this lovely lady with me is my wonderful partnerpreneur and the gifted channeler for these gatherings, Susan Hoskins. Since June 7th, 2023, we have been playing in Sweet Tea Channeling. In a recent meeting with our guide Christopher, we were asked to provide some sweet tea treats, sharing some of the nuggets that have been channeled and then heart bouncing how we can live that in Hoomadhi, which is the reality that we are creating right here where we live, right now. Christopher is willing to come in and share more insights on the nuggets when it feels appropriate. So we are quite excited for that. As a result, instead of our usual introduction, this one will be very brief. If this is the first Sweet Tea channeling that you are watching, we encourage you to go back and enjoy at least one of the previous introductions and channelings, especially if you have questions about what we are doing. We have already opened sacred space for this gathering, and we just want to remind you to call in your own spirit guides to assist in pulling out what is most important for you from what comes through. So our next nugget is delicious. We would ask that every day beginning right now, take the time just to appreciate and love who you are in this moment with loving gratitude that you are living and always will live to shine your brightness on this world and worlds beyond. This is the greatest lesson to learn in life, the truth of who you really are.
Ooh,
Delicious?
delicious.
Yes. I really love the reminder that who you are in this very moment is what's most important.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how often do we carry around our backpack, but that shame of what we did yesterday
Mm-hmm.
or what we did a month ago? And it might not be shame, it might be anger, it could be any emotion that you want, but we spend so much time in that place of our past, of what we think makes us who we are,
Mm-hmm.
instead of just really going, love who you are in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think many of us want to be perfect, perfect in the eyes of the world, perfect in our own eyes, that we don't make mistakes or we don't err or we could do better. So it's kind of a conversation we've had before about how can we just love ourselves in the moment exactly as we are, because we realize we haven't arrived anywhere. We're constantly evolving. We're constantly becoming the better versions of ourselves. So this isn't a stopping point. It's not like we're going to be measured here. We don't have to pass an exam here and get an A plus plus perfect, because the truth of it is I'm as perfect as I possibly am in this moment, knowing
Yes.
that I'm completely imperfect and loving myself.
Yes. Well, and we're all doing the best we can with what we know in any moment in time, right?
Exactly. We are perfectly imperfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's not an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
It is more about really embracing who you are and believing in yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we've probably all been in spots where you're trying to do something. It doesn't matter what it is you're trying to do, but you know, oh, this isn't it. This isn't
Yeah.
quite working. And so you stop and you try it again. And so
It
you
doesn't.
go, okay, hold on. Here I go. Now this time. And then you do it, try it, and you do it. When
Yeah.
you can embrace that moment just like that, you are becoming the best version of yourself that you can be. And
Yeah.
knowing that there's always, always going to be room for improvement because that's the nature of evolution.
Right. I think it's really important to remember and to take the time, like you're pointing out, to stop and go, oh my gosh, look how far I've come. Look who I am today. I really like who I am today. And I'm being shown and reminded of a very funny story. And
Okay.
that is, I was interviewing somebody for a position where I used to work. And I was asking this individual, he was a man, about certain accomplishments that he had done in his program that was on his resume. And he sat there and he actually did this. He went, oh, yes, it was well done. I did really well. And he's patting himself. And I remember now, this was years ago, looking at the person who's doing the interview with me, and we're kind of both going,
Yikes.
without doing it. But now that I think about it, we need to do more of this. Well
Yes.
done for what
Yes.
we've accomplished and who we are and what we've been through. So
Yes.
well done to that man. I don't remember your name, and you didn't get the job because it was a little weird at the time. But well done for you, because I'm these many years later now going, man, you're right. Well done.
Hmm. Absolutely. So, this line about with loving gratitude that you are living and always will live to shine your brightness on this world and the worlds beyond. It sounds so big, and yet it's so simple,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just being grateful for who you are, even if you don't feel like what you did is is a picture of you growing, right? Like maybe you just behaved in a way that just is not your best you. Then even just reminding yourself that I know I can be better than this
Mm-hmm.
is enough.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Because in that moment, it's that recognition, that acknowledgement, and then being grateful for who you are and what you are capable of. And knowing that, okay, I'm always trying. As long as we're trying to be aware, it feels to me like that's a big part of Humadi is that awareness, not doing things on autopilot, not snapping at someone just because that was the feeling that arose or whatever the case might be, but just really noticing who you are and being grateful for that.
Oh, yeah. And that by creating the best versions of ourselves, by going, this is what feels better, more authentic to me. This is who I really am. You are then creating a reality that will reflect that.
Hmm.
The more we become who we really are and live the way we want to live, attracting those people that are in sync with us, we don't attract the other
Yeah.
because
And
we're
and I think that's probably the big piece to how we are creating this reality
exactly,
right here, right where we live right now, is the energy we're putting out is drawing back similar
exactly,
frequency
exactly.
energy. Yeah.
And that's what's being mirrored, and that's the reality we see.
Mm,
That's creating the reality.
absolutely.
And what I'm remembering or wanting to say is the fact that we know how far we've come. We know what we used to be like. We know what we would have done in the past, but you may not know. The person on the street may not know. And so it's important for us to know. And because, man, I've come a long way since then, and I'm loving the direction I'm going.
Yes. Yes. No,
Right.
that is very, very true. So do you think Christopher has anything that he would like to bring into this conversation?
Christopher says he always has things to bring in.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Oh, this is fun. You are getting it beautifully. The significance of what it means to create your reality truly is what it means to create the best version of yourself and what you shine on the world, what you put out in the world, because that is exactly what gets mirrored back to you as reality, as so tangible, that this is what you see. It's going back to what you talked about, Debbie, if you will, with your perspective of the mountain. What you see in your reality when you're creating and putting out the best possible version of you in the moment is that perfect outpicturing of who you really are. And that's what we mean when we say this is every bit as real. Hoomadhi, living Hoomadhi, is every bit as real as anything you see that has been created, either by you before or others now, because it's the outpicturing of who you are and what you want life to be. Does that help?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. That outpicturing piece has come up a lot, and I look forward to us talking about it more. I think in either the full version, Sweet Tea Channeling, or in another nugget. Ready to join us live on these calls? Send us an email at info.hoomadhi, that's HOOMADHI @gmail.com. We'd love to have you play with us.